was Eddie Harris many years ago putting a piece together, a jazz piece that's still a classic, and it's called Listen
Listen here.
Here. Ooh-wee, after all this time, it still sounds good. My name is Maureen Taylor. I work with the Michigan Welfare Rights Organization, and this is the weekly Friday broadcast of Ask Welfare Rights. I'm here with my colleague and the national chair of the National Welfare Rights Union, Marion Kramer, who's going to give you an official welcome. So, Marion, say hello.
It is good to be able to welcome people here tonight, Maureen, because a lot of people around us don't have no lights. And they have gone through quite a bit. If it's not lights, we're facing all this other stuff that we have to talk about, all this shooting that's going on. I want to remind you, listening to WHPR, you can get us on the website should you not have a TV or what have you. It's www.tv33whpr.com. We have, you notice down there, the phone numbers that you can call in on, and that's 868-4336 or 868-0351. Make sure when you call in you have your pencil and paper, because there's a lot going on around all of us out here right now. Well, Maureen, we've been trying to breathe all day, and every time we try to take a deep breath, something look like it happens. You know, all the mess that go on at nighttime, and first thing you wake up to this morning, still people killing folks, and it's going to be more.
All trying to think. I didn't even hear about this situation at Central Michigan University right away. And Navarre called me to tell me better turn on the news because something is going on. And, early on, after Navarre called me and I was able to turn the radio station on TV and take a look at what was going on, to look at another college here in Ohio, close to Michigan. And I know a lot of students that are in that on that
Ohio.
campus. Central Michigan University is in Ohio.
Maureen, it's two separate schools. There's Central Michigan
University.
here in Michigan, up north, and then there's Central Michigan in Ohio. Two different schools. Now, Kadisha went to one right across the street. She went to school right across the street from there, and is outside of Xena, Ohio,
Where is it?
close
What's the
to
name of the city again?
Xena,
What's the name of the state?
Ohio.
And what's the name of the college?
Michigan
No, Central.
Central.
Central Michigan.
Uh-huh.
And what state is it in?
It's in Ohio.
That's what I said.
Not at first you said
No,
Central.
that's what I said.
Okay, Maureen, I'm not going.
And I'm gonna show you something that I learned the other day. Here, watch this.
What you done learned?
Now watch
She
this.
didn't learn something on the
I did. Watch this. Hold on. All right, you go here.
that I think Heaven know what school she's going to.
I ain't talking about that. Watch this.
I've been up there several
Watch this.
times.
Okay, Google.
That's old, Maureen. That's
New to
old.
me. Central Michigan
Watch out.
University.
Watch out. She's getting dangerous.
And it comes up Pearl Bailey.
Put that down. Let's go.
I don't know what happened here.
But that the one that was shot at, and I recognize the campus was up north here in Michigan. That's where Topeka's daughter graduated from, as well as our cousin graduated from. It's up there in Mount Pleasant, around Mount Pleasant and what have you.
Somewhere in Mount Pleasant. Yeah.
Nice school.
Caller, you're on the air. Thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, where the shooting happened this morning is in Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
That's
Yes.
what Marion is saying. Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
The Mount Pleasant, Michigan. I'll call back later on my comments later.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you, caller. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights.
Hi, Maureen.
Yes.
Listen, I just want to clarify those schools you were talking about.
Yes, go
the
ahead.
one in Ohio is Central State
Central
University
State.
in Xenia, Ohio.
Okay.
In
Okay,
Xenia,
and the
wow.
one where the shooting occurred was Central Michigan
Yeah.
University in Mount Pleasant.
Mount
State
Pleasant,
students and
Michigan.
colleges. Central State is really considered a HBCU.
Okay, didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Sure
stay
thing.
close because we're going to talk about this a little bit tonight. Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right. And to hear that another college school was on lockdown. My heart
And you
was
know,
just
then
hurting,
you know, a lot of the parents were on their way
Yeah.
there because it's break time, and they were coming to
Spring
pick
break,
up the
yeah.
and to hear the news. You know, when you called me, my heart began to drop. I say,
Well,
wait a
that's why
minute.
I called you so
I
that
say,
we can
oh
figure out
God,
what's going on here.
when
you
that
know?
child called me and said,
Wrong place.
my wrong place,
I'm glad.
and she said, I know it.
But I'm just so sad.
I said, let me call Maureen and take
Calm my heart down.
calm her down.
But then, Marion, you know, the first pieces of news that came out was that we can't identify next of kin, and we don't know, you know. And when they continued to say the two people that are dead are not students. So right away, my mind went to, oh my goodness, you know, maybe some kind of boyfriend, girlfriend, some kind of party situation going on, and you know. Well, no, but I'm saying they said the two people that were deceased were not students. And they kept saying they weren't students, they weren't students. And then once again, later on this afternoon, Navar called me. And he said, Ma, had you heard the news? No, what now? And he told me that the two people that were killed were the shooter's parents. I pulled the car over.
And they
Hey, what?
mentioned that. They
What-
mentioned this
what are
morning.
you saying? You know, and then, you know, Navar, you know, tried to tell me what he had heard. And I ain't been home all day to listen to this, but apparently there was an issue. The young man who was the shooter, 19 years old, something
Looking
happened
like he's
last
7
night.
years old.
Medicine, drugs, some kind of bad reaction ended up in McLaren Hospital. And went to the hospital, and then he was released from the hospital, and I guess he went back to his dorm. I don't know. But the parents, Navar said that the dad was a police officer. And here the parents come to see about the boy, and I guess they in the dorm room, and whatever it is happened, and the mother and the father are shot dead. And the child is off, and I don't know if they found him or not. It's time for the 7 o'clock news. But, you know, they say he's at large. He probably not at large. He probably done went someplace and hurt himself. It's just heartbreaking. Every mother, every father, every sister, brother that continues to hear this. We got a guy mad at his girlfriend, and he shoots her, and her two relatives come down the street, try to break it up or whatever. They're dead.
And then he shoots another person.
You know,
Oh my God.
you know, 16-year-old this morning, East Lawn, breaking into somebody's house. How the homeowner hears it, I'm sure scared to death, shooting the gun wherever they think they can in an effort to save their life. And now we got a 16-year-old in critical condition in the hospital with a gunshot to the head. Marion, has got to stop. And the only way I know to make this stop is the people in the neighborhood have to say, that's it. No more of these shootings. These young people that are out here committing these crimes, we're going to go get them. They're going to have a talking to. And then we're going to have to go down to the water department. No more of the stuff they're doing. We're going to have to go to where people are getting evicted. No more of that. Chief Craig talking about arming the teachers. We're going to have a meeting with the
mind.
We're going to have to have a meeting with the police chief.
That's just crazy.
We got some teachers a couple of days ago went and got some guns and shot themselves. One of them trying to shoot the principal out the window. You know,
Did what?
the man was upset, was thinking about suicide. He in the room, he done locked the door in Georgia. Said, oh, my life is bad, and I got this gun, and I'm a teacher, and I can't figure out what to do. And the principal coming around the back of the window, knocking on the window, what are you doing? He started shooting out the window. I'm sure the kids were going nuts in the room. and bit by bit he let all of them out, and then kept himself in there for another 30 or 45 minutes, and they finally talked him out. This is a teacher with a gun. You know, it's just insane. We're going to have to put a stop to this because it can't trickle down. From the top down, it's still going to be Trump talking about replacing food stamps with food boxes. You know, that kind of nonsense. So I don't know. It's not going to stop until
every
we
time
say
something
enough.
rolls off of Trump's tongue, and we know it's negative,
Oh, Lord.
within a matter of 24 hours, he changed everything that he's talking about.
Absolutely.
I
Caller,
mean, come on now.
you've been so patient. Caller, you are on the air. Go ahead.
Am I on the?
Yes.
You are. Yes, please.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, we can.
Hi, this is from Highland Park. Oh, good evening, ladies.
Linda.
That's Linda.
Yeah, okay. We need a Highland Park school board report.
Sure. Would you like to hear the good news or the sad news first?
Well, you pick one because we already down in the dumps. So go ahead. You tell us what we need to know.
Well, this is the good news about the schools. We will be released from emergency management
Oh, my God.
March the 31st, 2018.
Hallelujah. Okay. At the end of this month. Okay.
Go ahead. What you say?
That's at the end of this month.
That's right.
Okay. And so that means that person that's been getting paid all this time to manage the emergency of Highland Park not having no schools is going to have to go on unemployment.
No, Maureen.
I don't know if
No.
he's going on
No,
unemployment
they're going to transfer
No, what'd she
to-
say? Say it again.
or what he's going to do, you know.
No, he probably run for mayor, or we got a lot of people running for governor. Might be a spot there. Go ahead.
We got too many running for governor. You got that right. Now, we will be out of debt 2023.
When?
2023.
2023, you'll be out of debt.
Out
Yes,
of-
ma'am.
For the school, you're
For the
saying.
school.
Okay.
That's 5 more years.
That's all. That's all.
That's too long, ain't it?
Well, originally we were scheduled to be out of debt 2040.
Well, let me say this. All in favor of Highland Park having its debt wiped off by the 31st of March, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, sounds like democracy. Go ahead.
What we're doing so now is urging all financial facilities because we're going to send out RSVPs.
For
For what? Go ahead. You going to send out a request for proposals for what?
what? Yeah.
for schools for different entities to come into our district.
Well, what's that mean? For schools to be set up in Highland Park?
That's right.
Well, I don't know why you gonna do that. You don't have no more students left. You only have 3 that live in Highland Park, Crystal, and 2 others. and unless Miss Wheeler going back to school,
It's bad, but
she going back to take some
you make
classes.
it out to be. It's bad, but it's not as bleak as you make it out to me. The board, I have to commend the majority of the board has really been rolling up their sleeves.
Wonderful.
And so we're working with a lot of different organizations that have good plans in order to draw our students back because we're only 2.9, but once we get a good school, they'll come.
But Linda, it's not a question of what y'all been doing, because you've been working, y'all been doing some good work, and the people prior to you, was dragging their feet and everything. But the thing that we're going to have to constantly watch. See, although the emergency manager might be leaving on the end of this month, they still will send someone in here to answer to nothing but the governor and them.
Oversight review.
For oversight and stuff.
committee.
We
So,
have an oversight of 2 years.
what did she say?
Say it again. Your voice is going in and out. Say it again.
We have an oversight of 2 years.
Oversight for the next 2 years.
Well, that's if
Same in Detroit.
that's if they don't find something create something to try to take it back for us. So people got
Same
to
thing in
become
Detroit,
become strong and stand with this school board because
right.
the other school boards didn't give us no reports. They didn't do nothing, but other than some of them ran for some more office.
The other school board, Marion, is the school board that voted for the emergency manager to come to Highland Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Linda, if anybody has a model to look at, for the longest time, the Highland Park school system was one of the best in the nation.
Yes, it
And
was.
people from all outside of Highland
Would
Park
change
was
their
trying
addresses.
to get into the Highland Park school system because it was so excellent. So you most certainly have a pristine model to try to look at, and if it has been done once, there's no reason why it can't be done again.
I agree. We don't have to reinvent the wheel.
That's right. I
No,
agree.
we shouldn't have to introduce anything, that hasn't happened here in the past. But we got to look towards the future and make sure that we have a school that is dealing with, just like Maureen just found out, she can Google someone. You know what I mean? It's got to be
Well, I'll try it
up.
again.
Not Maureen, Lee. Put your toy down.
I'm gonna try that.
Understand technology.
Hey,
It's
Linda.
got to have the best thing. We got to fight for that.
Hey, Linda, listen to this.
Yes.
Linda, don't crack up
Okay,
here.
Google.
She just
Highland
learned
Park
this.
School system. I just learned. Highland Park School District. Effective schools identify core values and beliefs about learning that function as explicit foundational commitments. I just learned how to do that the other day. Goodbye, Google.
I be talking to Google all the time.
Maureen, you are first century astute.
Hey, Linda,
And thank you so very much.
we're not going to send Maureen over there to teach technology, but she'll be a hell of
A student. See, I'd be a good student.
not only a good student, but a good social worker.
That's right. That's what she is. We always,
She's
let
one of the
people
best
do,
in the States.
Their expertise, whatever they're good at.
Well,
I'll share this bad news, but I must do it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
like your daddy was one of the best in the States as far
That's
as
right.
being a social worker. Well,
yes.
here's one right here following it, in his footsteps.
No.
But they're
I'm
not.
bigger than that.
But she.
They call me from California. They call
Yes,
me from
I'm
Texas.
from all over the place.
They call me from all over the place trying to get answers to things. So,
Yeah.
yeah, boy. When Billy
Well,
D.
they
Williams,
call him the right one.
hey, Linda, when
Linda.
Billy D. Williams comes and gets me, it takes me away. You all gonna just have to do the best you
Linda.
can.
Linda, the
all
outdoor
I can tell you.
toilets, outdoors toilets are closed.
All right, Miss Highland Park, anything else we need to know about the school board?
Yes, I don't like to put on the sad note, but I must make this announcement.
Go ahead, ma'am.
The funeral service for Anita Nelson will be at James Cole Funeral Home on Schaefer. The first visiting hours will be after 2 p.m. Monday,
Schaefer
March
and-
the 5th.
Schaefer and
Public
Puritan.
visitation will be Monday, March the 5th, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And family hour, the
4 to
funeral will
9
be
viewing.
Tuesday, March the 6th,
Monday
family
viewing,
hour,
Tuesday
3
funeral.
p.m.
And both events at Coles on Schaefer and Puritan.
Yes.
Not. Tell us very quickly, who is this young lady?
She happens to be my first cousin, and I don't know if you saw it on the news. It's very horrific, but she was a young lady that was beaten and raped, and her
Yes.
body was dragged from an abandoned house. And the Green Light gas station saw the man do it on camera at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. It's just too much.
He's been captured, and he was arraigned yesterday. And it was on
How old was the
television.
criminal?
I don't know, but he's a black man. I don't know.
Young guy?
I believe he was young. I have not watched any videos or anything of it.
Too much, Linda. Just too much, Too much. So
Yes.
sorry to hear.
She's at peace now. It's hard to,
Oh, boy.
really wrap my head around it, but
I know.
she's at peace now.
Yes.
You're in all of our hearts, okay?
And tell your family.
All right, dear.
Tell Mama and Terry you have our
prayers.
deepest sympathy.
Thank you so much.
All right,
right,
dear.
thank
I
you.
announced it because there was a public outcry about the murder, and so that's why I announced the community Detroit and Highland Parkers knew about it.
You remember what was said in the movie The Color Purple? Keep your head up, okay?
That's right.
All right,
Well,
dear.
I got some good people to help me keep it up.
That's right.
It's
We
gonna
help
work.
each other.
That's right.
All right, dear.
Love you, Bob.
And back
Love
at you.
you. Thanks for the report.
All right, now, caller, you've been so patient. Thank you for waiting and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights.
Good, I'm sorry. Good evening, Maureen, and good evening.
And
Derek.
hello.
How are you doing?
Hello.
Yes. I called Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So are you all having phone problems down there?
Some of the people that are calling, the voices are going in and out. So I'm not sure what that is, but sometimes that's what happens. And on the Highland Park report, sometimes it's hard to get it because voices go up and down.
Okay. Well,
could be
I
the
want to
weather.
just say one thing right quick, because this just popped up just since we were talking. Employment Hub is currently staffing for various positions at Pepsi. Apply for available openings here. Hiring now. Go to Employment Hub, and they're hiring for Pepsi.
So now that says, spell out the word employment and then H-U-B, hub.
Yes.
Okay, employment hub, H-U-B. And Pepsi is hiring now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And one more other thing. I was trying to call because I get so much information, but it was another one was for men that had been in prison.
Returning
And-
citizens, those are hard to find. What did you uncover?
It was a website, and there was 175 companies that was hiring them.
You
Men
know,
that had been in prison.
there are several job fairs that's been going on in the last week or two in terms of folks that are targeting folks that are returning citizens. So I have started to see some of that, you know.
And then also I want to say one other thing. Trinity Transportation is hiring, and they had a job fair today, but next is March 7th and March 8th.
Okay.
But that one would be out in like Wyandotte and Dearborn Heights.
Yeah, Trinity Transportation, they're school bus drivers, and
Right.
they're always looking for good employees.
Yes.
That's a good tip.
So what I would do is that, Marion, I'll call Monday because I'm going to have to write all these jobs down that keeps coming through me. And that way, I'll leave them on the voicemail. And if you don't mind, can you retrieve them? And next week, Friday, can you?
They will retrieve them.
Okay.
And the other thing, thank you for
Looking out.
looking out for the public. We all need some help.
Okay, I would definitely give that information and all the ones. Oh, and I forgot. Hold on. Oh my! United States Postal. Go to the same employment hub. It's coming
USPO.
up. They're
Okay,
coming
the
up.
PO.
United States Postal.
USPO
And
Post
this is
Office.
for 9 different positions. So everything that the United Postal Service does, all these positions are coming up.
Okay.
So I will call Monday, okay, Marion?
Okay.
And Maureen,
Yes, ma'am.
I will call you Monday as well.
And
I need
thank
to
you.
talk to you.
And thank you very much.
Okay, and you all have a wonderful and blessed weekend.
All right. Thank you so much. Caller, you've been so patient. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights.
Yes. No, very important. It's a lot going on in the city of Detroit. All this shooting, like you said earlier. You go and take a nap for a half an hour, wake up to something else. Youngsters shooting youngsters, mothers and fathers killing their children, and it's a shame. I mean, we got to do something about this. I don't know what. Now, the silly thing, I've always agreed with our chief because he's doing a good job. But this only stuff where he's
Wrong
talking
about
about
this.
teachers can carry guns, all this stuff, I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
Just like the other day, I was looking on the news, like you said earlier, this man in Alabama, Georgia, a teacher, somebody shooting out the window at his
In
principal
Georgia.
or somebody.
Shoot at the principal
And I'm
in
just
Georgia.
saying, most
Yeah.
of the Detroit public schools are retired from it. You have principals, you have teachers mad at each other and angry and all. Can you imagine them arguing with each other and then they get mad and pull a gun out after them and all that? Especially when you have administrators trying to remove another employee because of behavioral problems or whatever. You got a whole lot of it. You don't need nobody. If you want security, hire security guards with guns and stuff like that. Somebody in that field. A teacher does not need that, even though you don't know what a person got in their purse or in their, under their sport coat when they come to work. Because it's just like to say you're not supposed to carry guns in churches and everywhere else, which is all right. But when you drive up in front of your church, get out your church in your full little mink coat and your $100,000 diamond ring, you ain't gonna leave your gun in your glove compartment when the robber come up to you and say, "Oh, give me your jewelry." You're not gonna say, "Wait a minute, let me go back to my glove compartment, get my gun, stay right in until I come back and see."
You stand right
Come on,
there,
but we
okay.
do not need no teachers carrying guns. Chief
Well,
Gregg
caller.
needs to get out and stop saying that. I agree with everything else he's saying.
Caller,
Yes.
caller, let's just list the places where you can go and get shot. You get shot in school.
At your
You
house.
get shot at your house. You could get shot in the church. You could get shot in the movie theater. You can get shot in the nightclub. You could get shot outside watching a concert. You could get shot walking down by the riverfront looking at the water.
You
And
can
here
get
comes
shot.
the bullet. And where else, Mary?
You can get shot coming
Mind your business.
out of the what's the name of that new building they have down
Well,
there?
you
The
have to know your example
Orchestra,
now.
Orchestra
You know?
Hall. You know, and
Yeah.
all those places.
You know, so
although they have cameras.
yeah, well, it don't matter. It looks like all of the places that we can think of that you can go is possible for someone to
But, you know,
bring
we
a
need to
firearm in
I don't
there.
know what it would take to get everybody together, including me. We need to get everybody together. These churches, you got a few that's standing up and doing something, but we need that all these 1,500 churches to get together. That enough is enough. And I mean, nobody trying to lead nothing. Do just like they did at that shooting at Florida. All them students, they
Yeah.
standing up. Now, come on. But older people my age, I'm still old. I'm 69. I'm not 69. But anyway, we need to get out and do like them.
Enough is enough.
But you got to do it numbers. It
I am so proud of.
I'm going to hang up and listen.
All right,
Okay.
caller, thank you for your thoughts. Go ahead.
Let me say that these young people that are beginning to join the movement and not only fighting, against all this violence that's going on, because they're the ones, they're our future. They're not giving up. They're now trying to get buses to go to D.C. on the 29th?
24th.
If you want to know more information
Just a minute,
about
caller.
that, you can call Welfare Rights, and we can put you in touch with the young lady and a
people that
friend
organize
that are organizing that, because they are serious. They are not talking about just taking a trip for the sake of taking a trip. No, they want to talk to these people, and anybody, and they said, like those other young people said in Florida, if we find out that you a candidate and you taking money from the NRA, you are a person that we're gonna have to come after also, and I'm proud of them, and
You're
we
doing
need
good.
to stand up with them.
Caller, you on air. You've been so patient. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Go.
Hi, how you doing today?
Fine.
My problem is about getting house repair. I got a front porch getting ready to cave in, and I was wondering where I get help from that.
Call us at Welfare Rights, 964
964
0618.
018
No.
No.
964
964
0618.
And start laughing.
18.
0618.
Okay, I got it.
Call us at Welfare Rights Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, sometime after about 11:30 or 12 o'clock, so
And
you
then
can
they'll
talk
be
to
there.
somebody directly, and we can get some details.
Okay. Thank you. Y'all have a nice weekend.
All
You
right,
too.
thank you so very much. Caller, you're on the air. You've been patient.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hello.
Fine.
That seems to be giving me the runaround, Miss Taylor.
Who is that?
Mr. Parrott,
Yep.
don't you have your paperwork yet?
I got everything, all 7 things on the list.
Okay.
And now they going right back to you got to go to probate.
No, you don't have to do none of that. When I get into the office on Monday, I was looking at your name the other day.
You
I'll
mentioned
call
his
you
name.
on, I sure did. I'll call you Monday when I get in, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Very good. I'll give
Uh-huh.
you a call. Caller, you've been patient. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights.
Yes, Marion and Maureen.
Yes, ma'am.
I never met this man before, but I know you all used to talk about Reverend Pickney.
Yes.
Yes.
I received a call from Reverend Pickney last week,
Great.
and he was telling me about he was getting something, organizing something up in Kalamazoo or wherever he lives at.
Ben Harbor.
Benton Harbor, okay. And so he was saying that, I said, well, how, he asked me what at the end. I said, well, how will I get there? So I said, well, why don't we get a bus group? He said, well, that's what you all were doing. Is that true?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I know there's
There are a
some
lot of things happening.
activities that he's supposed to be dealing with, and one of the people that I know we usually work with to get buses and stuff, we have to get on concerning that. But Reverend Pickney be organizing, honey, against all injustice. Well, you need to, call, make sure your name is down at Welfare Rights in order, and when we do find out all the details around what's about to happen in Benton Harbor. It's getting close to the whole anniversary of the fight we took up at there with, when they stole the land from the people in Benton Harbor to make it into a golf course. So it could be that, but call Welfare Rights and we can get more information for you.
Okay, then, I will, okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank
All
you
right,
all
thank
again,
you.
okay?
All
Bye.
right,
Okay,
thank you
bye-bye.
so much. Caller, you're on the air. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights.
Thank you for being there, for being here.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
You know, this toxic society that we live in that's become more and more toxic, I
Yes.
think it's by design, ladies. I really do. They want to scare the living daylight out of people. I question everything I see on the mainstream media.
Yeah.
We don't know the story at Central Michigan University. We really don't know the real story. And when I saw Snyder up there standing with the black president of the school, acting like he was concerned,
Well,
then the black president gonna call the youngster a criminal, and they haven't even got to the root of what even happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
really have to scrutinize everything.
Everything, and you're so right.
Everything. We don't know what's going on.
Well, what we do know is that there seems to be an unending current of
Current.
violence.
And it's
Yeah.
not just here.
Today, I mean, my heart hurt when I heard this story. My heart hurt when I heard the story about the kids in Florida. My heart hurt. I was really stunned when that whole piece around them kindergartners, first and second graders
Yes.
in Connecticut, babies getting shot in the
Shot.
face, caller. And then every single day, I don't get the news that what happens in Chicago, but I know every morning here, when I turn on the TV to try to see what the weather is before I can find out what the temperature is, I have to listen to who got killed on the east side and who got killed on the west side and who got killed on the south side, southwest Detroit. And I have to listen to that. And I was telling Marion today, I know we live in a big city. live in an urban area, and then crime happens. But it just seems like here lately, it's a lot, and it's more and more and more. And
And you know
that's
what?
part of the reason why I question everything, just like you.
Oh yeah.
Just like you. But you know what? When you pass Pie Funeral Home, Cole Funeral Home, and the rest of them, the cars are lined up. And everybody who's in that caller didn't die of old age. We got a lot of young people that are falling victim to violence, terrible violence.
It could be
you know?
interlopers in our community causing this crime purposely. You know, I think that this country, since Trump has been taken over, I really, really do. And they mean to implode it internally. It's
Well-
just a toxic mess, and we all have to be as vigilant as possible
It's a
and
mess.
question everything.
It's a mess. Caller,
Watch out.
You thinking and we thinking too, trying to, we got to do more to talk about it. We're going to have to be about it soon.
But
okay?
you know,
Yeah.
one thing that he has said, and one thing we have noticed, is that not only is this on the increase, but the government is not really doing nothing about it, and you're correct. Because just like even in Germany and all the other places, they laid the foundation for fascism to come in and make it look like, Maureen, we can't do nothing. That's like the emergency manager. They bankrupt
over.
the cities and don't come and help them. But when we owe the feds and the state money, they come after you and quickly, But yet and still they done laid the groundwork to make sure that you don't have the necessary funds to be able to take care of your cities and what have you. And then now they'll begin to train the police and everybody else they get hands on. We got to tighten up on security.
Caller, we agree.
We better get together
We gotta
in our
really-
communities.
Yeah, we got to pay better attention.
We
you
got
know?
to get
the
together.
police want guns all over the place. Listen to the chief.
Yep.
He wants
Yes.
guns everywhere.
Yes.
They
I
just
thought
want
that was
everything to just go haywire so they can sit back and,
And shoot us all.
yeah, it's
bad.
crazy.
It's bad. Caller, we agree with you. We got to pay better attention to everything, okay?
Hey, watch out for each other.
Yeah.
Walk
Yes.
people to their cars.
And we
women
can.
To their cars.
We can do
Just
that.
all of that.
Yeah. Thank you, caller.
All right, peace.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Have you
Marion,
heard anything about the woman that got attacked at the, when was that, yesterday? She came out late last night from work or something like that.
At the Opera House.
I haven't heard no more on that one.
Yeah, this Mary's talking about the woman who was walking back to her car in the parking structure, and she had been at an event.
Yeah.
And 61 years of age, and there was somebody in the parking structure with her, and followed her to a car, struck her, stole her phone, hit her about the
Her
face,
purse and everything.
pushed her in the back seat of the car, and tried to rape her. And
Yes.
she started to scream, and he hit her a couple more times, but she kept hollering,
Mm-hmm.
and he ran off, And it's just,
It's amazing.
it's just something, can't go to the opera. There it is, another example. You can't go to a program at night. And
If
boy,
you
it's
go, you better take several people with you.
yeah, you have to go in a group. And let's talk about that for a minute. I always think about that girl, little blonde-haired girl, Hollowell, Natalie Holloway, and went down to Aruba with her friends on spring break. You remember that?
Yeah,
and
they
hung
haven't
out
found
with her
that child
partners.
yet.
And no, they gonna never find her.
Uh-uh.
And she met. It takes Nevada to tell me the name of that criminal, but met that guy. At the bar, and he was suave, and she was smoking cigarettes, and he's lighting them for her.
And
you know,
probably
buying
put
exotic
something in
drinks.
her drink.
Well, he didn't. What happened is that she told her friends, I met this really good-looking guy,
Yeah, I remember
and I'm going to stay here with him. And her friends left her.
I mean, that
you-
I
you
never
know?
could understand that.
You remember, Marion, when me and you and Glenn and the rest of us,
We would
out?
hang out.
We didn't leave. I don't care who you met. We came together. We're leaving together.
together.
They never found that girl.
And
And it
no.
happened again the other day. I can't think of who
The
it
mother,
was.
did you see that mother that was getting her kids ready to go to school, and the guy got in the house or something? But apparently they knew that young man,
I don't know this case.
and they found her body.
See, it's just too much. Ladies, there's nothing wrong with you going out to the clubs and having a good time and dancing.
Take
and
somebody with
really,
you.
you know. But you
in
go with
groups.
your crew.
Yes.
You leave with your crew. You don't, you meet somebody
Don't
and I really
leave
like you and you can
nobody.
exchange numbers and all of that, but you don't tell your crew, y'all go ahead.
Your lips.
And I'm gonna stay here with him.
You remember we adopted a code. Men always coming up to you, asking you for your phone numbers, if you remember. We said, no, we want your phone number.
And they do this now, Marion. Hello, Google. See, they get on the phone.
Get-
now that- See,
away from
that's
me.
what you do.
Get
now.
away from me.
See, that's what they do now. But the message is still the same. No, you
Yes.
give me your number.
Yeah.
And I'll call
Call
you.
you.
You know, yeah, because that's the way that's going to roll. You know, but Marion, this question of going with your crew, hanging with your gang, and then one of you decide to go do something else. I'm going out in the car. I'm going to go get something to eat with this guy. With who? With that guy right there. I just met
What's
him.
the
I'm
name
getting
of that?
ready to go in the car, and we going to get you not going anywhere. We're all going to stay in here until
Together.
it's time for us to leave.
And if you've been drinking too much,
Oh,
you're
my
not
goodness.
driving.
And you remember there was a time when drinks would show up at the table
Oh, my
and you'd be out
goodness.
on the dance floor and you come back 2 or
Yes.
3 drinks. We couldn't drink those.
No.
Because you didn't know what was in it.
No.
The barmaid
no,
came
no.
and brought them. That's one thing. But while you're gone on the dance floor and you come back and there's 2 or 3 drinks and you look,
I know I didn't
Nope.
order.
not drinking none of this because you don't know what's in it. Not going to do it. But all of those old safety rules and whatnot look like these young girls today. They just don't get it. I listen to some of
They
these young
trust
girls at
people
my
too
school.
much.
You know, he's a black guy. I trust him. Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
He's tall. He said he was a policeman.
Uh-huh.
He said he had a job. Yeah, okay. You know, No, there are rules, and the girls' code really needs to be followed. You come together, you leave together. Somebody talk to you about a phone number, I'd be more comfortable if I got your number.
And
and
I
let
be
me call
trying to
you.
tell my girls, and all my girls are.
They learned the lesson.
They're
They were good.
older now,
They
and
followed the rules, the girls' code.
well, yeah, and no, but
More yeah than no.
I'm looking at the younger ones. There's a gap there.
Yeah.
Because they trust everybody. I say, y'all have not been looking at the news to understand about how they're snatching these young women and putting them into slavery, sex slave, and all
Oh,
that
my
type of
goodness,
stuff. You don't want to believe nothing.
And it's happening. I tell you, the
Over
difference.
and over again.
Navarre and his little crew, when they were still all in their 20s, Navarre told me carefully and clearly, he said, Ma, we afraid of girls. He said, because they say things and they all got boyfriends that are 2 or 3 times bigger than us. And all of their boyfriends got razor cuts on the face. And boy, Navarre said, when we go together and this girl come over and say, oh, I really like you, he said right away they get on their P's and Q's and start looking around the club to see who's coming over here to get this girl. And he said several times the guy would come over, that's my woman you talking to. And Navarre and his crew would say, nope, we are not talking to her.
She's
She
talking
came
to
over
us."
here and she talking to us. And we would like you to take her away as far as you can. You know, we used to make me laugh so hard about that. You know, we scattered these girls because they would always be coming
That's
over
true.
here starting some mess. My boyfriend said something, I didn't like it. My husband said something, I didn't like it. So I'm going to come over here and talk to these young new guys. And here come the dude, one earring, a keloid ear,
They don't-
razor cut on his face. That's my wife. We want you to take her
your wife.
away.
In fact, here's $5.
$5 to
Take
help
her-
you
take
take
her.
her away, you know. But that was so funny. But that's
the
he
truth.
heard the code. You had to be careful. You can't just be hanging around
Because
with anybody.
it's like now
Dangerous out
my
Remember when police officers used to be shooting folks at the nightclub?
yes
Police would
indeed.
come by after work and they get into a fight with somebody, and outside in the parking lot, the police shot at somebody. Who is this guy? He was an undercover police officer. Got into an argument. Stopped going to clubs, didn't we?
Didn't we?
After a while, man, gunshots talk. But, well, nope, let's stay at home and play our music.
You got that right. And found out staying at home was better than anything.
Oh my goodness, but that's part of the code,
So what do we have coming up, Maureen?
Well, let's take this call and let's see what we got going on. Caller, you've been patient. Thank you for waiting and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights.
I won't call again. But did you hear on the news? I believe this morning I heard where our governor, that crazy Rick Snyder, anyway, he signed into law to eliminate that responsibility fee for cars. Have you
You're
heard
talking
that?
about driver's responsibility?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hit that. I heard that this morning. I'm going to hang up and listen to your response.
Okay, driver's responsibility fees end officially in October of this year. And what that means is they could still collect driver's responsibility debts right up until that time. And then after that, there's no more collections that can happen, and it can't be imposed anymore. That was always one of the worst, as far as I understood.
We had so
Only Detroit
many
had
young
that.
people came into the office and older folks having, particularly
Destroying
around
people,
Wayne State.
Yeah.
And places like that, and here they were trying to get them a job or something like
Couldn't
that,
do it.
and couldn't do it because of that driver's quote,
Responsibility stuff.
quote unquote driver's responsibility.
But that was a way for the state to make money. Cause
Oh,
I
they
think
made
it was
some
either
money.
in this one city or in this one county. I think it was either just in Detroit
It
or just in
was.
Wayne County. But all across the state, there were millions of dollars accepted for that.
Well, not only that, Maureen, I told you yesterday. Was it yesterday I went down to
It
court?
don't matter. Go ahead.
But anyway, I had to go and pay on my property taxes. And the line was so long. But that I have to give it to the people behind on the counter. They were moving those lines.
Yeah.
And this was downtown. And when I got up there and the lady told me how much I owed and everything, I said, well, yeah, she said, there is a $25 fee.
Oh, yeah.
I said,
If you pay
25?
cash.
No,
Well, if you pay for a check, how did it
check or something like that.
Yeah. You just wanna start.
I wanted, the young lady was so sweet, but you'd be wanting to go down. I start preaching right then, and I say, I'm going over here to this city council and whoop all that.
Behinds.
Yes. I was so angry.
I went to pay somebody else's
paying
taxes.
you, and you talking about, what did she call it?
Go ahead. I went to help pay somebody else's taxes. And they told me, well, what about the fee? Well, what fee? Well, if you're paying somebody else's taxes or your own,
You
if
got
you're
to
using
pay
a check, you got to pay
$25.
$25. Well, what am I doing that for? I'm paying somebody else's taxes to help them from not having a house for.
I mean, it is
The lady said that's the
sickening.
charge. She turned
Sickening.
around and showed me the sign on the wall.
Sickening.
So I told her.
But
I said,
Eric Sabri,
yeah.
they can stop that commercial because I am so angry about that nonsense and all these late fees that they are making money out. Because we learned good about late fees up under the old director of the water department and all the money they were making.
But wait now, Mary, they got a sign on the wall that says it's a $25 fee.
Well, I'm
so
trying
I
to
asked
think
the
what they
lady,
call
wait a
it,
minute. I asked her to give me a magic marker and a piece of cardboard.
Yes.
I can make a sign too, just like you can make that one. Let me write my sign up and put that sign up
I
there.
mean, I said,
Oh, man.
what kind of fee? I said,
a check
Lord,
cashing fee or
have
something.
mercy. I said, this is crazy.
Caller, we're down to our last 6 minutes, quickly.
I'm going to be quick. This is a quick follow-up regarding the responsibility fees.
Yes.
The governor had to do what he did because remember that policy group from Washington that sued in federal court last fall and won. The judge said that Michigan was causing some illegalities for charging this driver's responsibility fee.
And
Look deeper into it. Trust me.
I
He
believe
didn't
you.
do this because he was touched by an angel.
You talking
It
about,
was a federal.
he was forced to
statement.
do
They
it.
didn't make it law, but they made a statement that it was illegal.
And so you're saying he was forced to do it.
That's what it was.
Oh, he was forced to do it. They didn't want to challenge it because it was going to be too much for him.
And how long has that fee been going on? They'd collected millions of dollars.
They don't collect it probably hundreds of millions by now.
Thank you, caller.
I just got so upset yesterday. I said,
Thank you so
I
much.
said, now I got to go down here and pay my water bill. I wonder how much fee going to
It's
be
a
on
fee
that.
there too. Caller from Your Lips to God's Ears. Marion, we're down to our last 5 minutes. Now, what do we have coming up? First of all, this is International Women's Month, and this is March. Honey, I'll be over there tomorrow with your allowance. So that's coming up. And we got, I'm trying to think if there's anything in the next couple of weeks. Did you tell me that Easter this year is the 1st of April?
No, I told you April Fool's Day.
That's the 1st of April, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
but you
what's that?
just said Easter.
No, what I'm saying, Easter generally comes, I was thinking in March. But this year, it's the 1st of April. I can't think of, because you asked the question, what might be coming up. Maybe if we're lucky, and I want to try to do it for next Friday, maybe Friday after that, try to get threat management to come in on Friday during one of our broadcasts and do a specialty about active shooter training. What do you need to do if you're in your school, or if you're in your church, or if you're in your in the movie theater? Wherever you are with a group of folks or just a few folks, and an active shooter comes into your presence. What do you need to do? What do you need to know? So I want to talk to him. I've been talking to him the other day, but I really want to get Commander Brown and some of his folks to come in and conduct an active shooter training. Maybe some of our, that's so sad. But I brought it up to Reverend Jill down at our church. Maybe that's what we have to have. Active shooter training. What do you do in your house? If you're in your house in the middle of the night,
y'all
you know?
some of the superheroes. That's not for real.
No.
That's not real.
Yeah, so we want to do that. And then in the coming weeks, Glenn, we're going to bring Glenn Wash on, because Glenn wants to talk about this question of tax abatements. And why do these corporations always get these tax abatements and tax breaks that they never honor? And why does that happen? And we got a couple more surprises that we're going to bring up in the month of March. Caller, you're on the air. Thank you for being patient, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights.
Praise the Lord, and thank you for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to express my shock and relief and enjoyment. I was watching Channel 2, and this man, I don't know his name, that's running for governor, came here with $20, and a millionaire, was living in poverty, know what it's like to not have food.
Sri
and they are
Tanadar.
trying to eradicate poverty.
His name is Sri Tanadar.
Oh, I never heard.
He was impressive, wasn't he?
Oh, I can't believe it. I'm a retired congressional liaison for Washington, and I've never heard such an honest person. We got to really think this thing out about the governor now.
Yes, we
He
do.
is just too outstanding.
If you watched him, what she's talking about is he was on Let It Rip last night.
Yeah.
And he and his, he's got one brother and, what did he say, 6 sisters? It was a family of 8. There was a ton of them. And they're from Pakistan or India or something like that. And
Yeah, but look how they live.
he came to this country, and his mother died shortly after he arrived. Wow. And Dad raised the rest of them. And he had $20. The kids had just a handful of dollars, and he was able to, he's a scientist. But his positions are very like ours. He's for single payer health care, expansion of Medicaid immediately.
And want to introduce public schools.
Public schools should have nurses and should have books and computers, no guns given to teachers. He had a whole long list of things. I'm not taking any money from any corporations.
No corporation.
Yes, he starts off saying that.
Yeah. Well, he was good, though, wasn't he?
Whoa, I'm so he's outstanding.
Oh, Sri.
I just hope people do their research and keep him in mind.
Sri Tanadar, that's his name.
Thank you.
All right, dear, I'm glad you watched it.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, he was of interest, you know.
He's been advertising.
You
I
know, yeah,
that.
yeah. So, all right, Marion, we're down to our last few minutes. I don't know what else we're going to do. Try to get our DC call in. And maybe in March, if we can get it together, we're going to start operating and offering political education at least once a Friday. And maybe whatever happens. Oh, I know what's happening this Sunday. General Baker Institute
Oh,
from
yes,
2 to
yes.
4 o'clock at the African American Museum at 2 o'clock, and we start on time. There's political education series, and I don't know what class this is, but it'll be a political education course that's offered every Sunday for the next few weeks, and it starts at 2 o'clock. Mary, say goodbye.
Good night, and it's always good to be among you.
All righty, I'm going to go home and get me some rest.
Be quiet.
And the night is Friday, and if I'm lucky, I can find a really good cowboy on channel 156. The Virginian been coming on. Da 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 da.
That's so old. It makes you look old.
Good night, Google.
You need to quit.